Hi guys, and welcome back. This is Josh and Marianne with you. We are in the same cemetery, the Salt Lake City Cemetery, and there is another pretty popular slash famous plot here. Everybody knows it as Emo's grave. And now Emo is actually Jacob Moritz, who was a German immigrant. He came to Utah in 1871 and started one of the largest breweries here right before Prohibition. He was making 100,000 barrels of beer a year, which is insane. Mr. Moritz also owned 36 breweries in Utah, which for a Mormon state was quite significant. Then Prohibition kind of came into play. He cut down his barrel production to about half, about 50,000 barrels of beer. In 1910, he became ill. He went back to his homeland in Germany, where he passed away. Now, they shipped his remains back to Utah to be buried here, where he had, ties to the Utah commerce and all of that. Now, a lot of people had vandalized his grave and demolished things. They've taken out his, according to story, they have taken out his remains, put him in a secured location, so all is here's the monument, but they've barred it all up. You can see they've ironed, they put an iron block. It used to be just open bars where you could see what looked like an urn inside, but vandals had come through and smashed it, so they had to wall it off, and supposedly his remains are in another secured location. Legend says maybe it got shipped back to Germany. Nobody really knows for sure. Nobody really knows why they call him Emo, because his name is really Jacob Moritz. So that's the story behind this guy. And you can see they've left offerings of beer. And the amazing artwork. The ironwork is phenomenal. It's really cool.
And the stone masonry. You know this design inside of here. And rocks.
And rocks.
And coins. Lots of coins. Quarters and all kinds.
And beer.
So yeah, I mean, growing up as a kid, we always heard about the Salt Lake City Cemetery and Emo's grave and how it was haunted. And if you'd go there at certain times, you'd hear him talk or something weird like that. And the thing about this cemetery, like a lot of them out there, is they do close at dusk. So when it starts to get dark, you have to clear out. They do have a lot of security, because a lot of wannabe ghost hunters like to come to the graveyard and harass the dead. Kind of like we are.
We've never done that.
But Emo's grave was always the popular one growing up. In fact, I hadn't even heard about the Lily Grays until I was in my mid-20s, because it was just something nobody really talked much about. In fact, I just stumbled across it randomly one time. But the thing about this cemetery is it's so large. It's actually multiple cemeteries put together in one central location. So you have religion sections. So depending on the religion determines what section you're buried in. And I think that might be part of what happened with Lily and Elmer, is they probably both had two different religious backgrounds, and so they were both buried in their religion of choice.
This is very possible.
So who knows, but he had the same headstone as her. It just didn't say the victim of the beast thing.
And what's odd too is it didn't say, wife of or husband of or whatever. It was just her name on his, or her name on hers, his name on his. That was it. Interesting. That might have been the family too. But there is an urban legend that says if you walk backwards around Emo's grave plot 3 times, he will appear to you, or you'll see him. I don't know if that's true, but supposedly people have seen him.
Spooky dookie.
Spooky dookie.
All right, well, we got to do a couple more runs and then probably head back, and I got to get back on my editing because that's where my life is
Yeah, it is.
editing. So, love you guys. We'll talk to you in a little bit.
See you later. Be safe.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.
And we love you.
And hit the notification.
Hit the notification.
And see you next time. Bye.